विभं विश्वनाथं प्रभुं जगन्नाथनाथं सदानन्दभाजं भवत्.
Friends, this is NJ, host on this channel. So we will continue our discussion around different major arcana cards. The card which we are going to discuss today is the card number 3 in the major arcana series cards, which is known as the Empress card. And we will have our discussion on the same 4 parameters. First, we will try to understand the illustration, because I have already explained to people that these illustrations, the designs, are the treasure house of all the magics, different religion, mysteries, philosophies ever been known to humankind. So each element of this design indicate towards something. Next, we will try to understand the divinatory meaning of this card. Next, we will try to understand that what would remain to be the case if this card would come out to be reversed in your reading, because in tarot readings, even the reversed card has got some peculiar meaning. And the last would remain to be the matching situation, matching personalities and real life situation, in sync with the divinatory meaning of this card. So before we'll start our discussion, just a quick recap of all what we have studied so far. We have discussed that tarot is majorly used for 4 purposes: for the character analysis of someone, to get a glimpse of the future, to get a solution to your immediate dilemmas, confusions and problems, and last, to elevate your spiritual state, to elevate your meditative state. Trust me on this, once you start following tarot to the core, you will get to know that there remains to be the presence of some cosmic energies that help you getting a solution of your problem, and that is the only reason that remains to be a driving factor, that only those cards would come in the spirit which are entirely in sync with your situation, with your current surrounding environment which you are going through, which will automatically give you a strengthened faith in the cosmic energies, in the divinity. And when it comes to understanding these cards which we are doing, because in tarot there are different kinds of spread which are being practiced and followed by tarot lovers all across the world. The tarot spread, the deck which we are following, which I am following in this series, is of the Rider-Waite tarot cards. These remains to be the most basic ones. So for anyone who is a novice or who is a beginner who wants to make his hold in understanding the tarot, so it's better for that person to begin with the Rider-Waite tarot cards. These cards get formed or developed in the year 1910 by the great occultist author Edward Waite, and on whose instruction the illustrator Pamela Coleman Smith, she developed these tarot cards which you are seeing, the Rider-Waite tarot cards. And when it comes to the whole configuration of these cards, so these tarot cards can be divided into 2 chunks: the major arcana cards and the minor arcana cards. Arcana is a Latin word which means secret. So we have the major secrets and the minor secrets. When it comes to understand the major arcana cards, so major arcana cards are 22 in numbers. There is a one unnumbered 0 which has been allotted to the Fool, and then there are 21 different major arcana cards. So it has been believed that this Fool, the unnumbered card, is the manifestation and the embodiment of the soul, and it is this Fool only in the form of the soul which goes through these 21 lessons of the life, in the form of going through different kind of experiences, situation, hopes, joys, sorrow, fear, before attaining the balance in this physical world in the final card. And when it comes to understanding the minor arcana cards, so minor arcana cards do not hold that very long lasting or very impactful meaning as compared to the major arcana cards. These minor arcana cards just tell about the more mundane level of the life. So major arcana cards, which are 22 in numbers, tell about the higher spiritual cosmic energies. Minor arcana cards, which are 56 in numbers, they tell about the life in a very mundane, on a very daily level. So in this series on the major arcana cards, we have already discussed the Fool, which represents the beginning. We have discussed the Magician card, which just tells about taking action. We have discussed the High Priestess card, which just tells about the non-action and remaining very receptive to the surrounding influence. Now this card which we are going to discuss today is the Empress card. So let's just start our discussion with understanding the meaning of this illustration first. So as you can see, this lady who is sitting here, she is being decorated and surrounded by all the, bedecked by the jewelries, all the amenities, all the luxuries. If you'll see in front of her, you will find this kind of, ripe wheat lying in front of her, which these right feet are very sacred, has been considered very sacred to the Egyptian god Isis. And Isis is a goddess which is the goddess of health, wealth, wisdom. So you'll see this kind of fertility, fertile environment in front of her. Then you'll see this kind of heart-shaped shield and with inscribed with the symbol of Venus. So this would automatically indicate the amenities, luxuries on which she is sitting. So she is sitting on the throne of the wealth, luxuries and the amenities. Even if you'll just have a look on behind her, the background, so you'll see this kind of cypress trees and the stream of consciousness which is flowing in between of that cypress trees. And even if you'll see and have a look at her gown, so you'll see the gown is bedecked by all the the embellishments. Along with that, she is wearing the necklace of pearls on her head. You'll see these kind of 12 stars with 6 points, and on her hand you'll see this kind of spectre surmounted by the globe, which again tells about her hold over the all the cosmic energies. So this is what this card, the illustration, the design of this card represents. Now when it comes to understanding the divinatory meaning, so see guys, you have to understand that I have already explained to people that it is the Fool, the unnumbered card, which has started his journey, and he has first stopped on the Magician card, then he crosses over that and he reached the High Priestess card. Now he has reached the Empress card. So there is a difference, because when it comes to understanding the femininity in the major arcana cards, so High Priestess card, which the card which was just previous to it, just represents the cosmic subconscious. But once you impregnate this cosmic subconsciousness with the generativity, reproductivity, productive thoughts, ideas of the self-consciousness, then you will get this the Empress card. So in a nutshell, when it comes to understanding the divinatory meaning of this Empress card, so this card just represents wealth, amenities, prosperity. It is a very good card for all those artists and all those art lovers and people in the artistic and creative fields. Someone who is expecting to to bore a child. So this card is also auspicious for that, for wealth, for marriage. And in older times, all those farmers who used to wait for the rain for their harvest. So this card even embodiments and represents all of those energies. When it comes to the understanding the meaning of this card, if this card has come out to be reversed in your reading, so first of all, this represents psychological instability. Second, poverty, infertility, some kind of emotional blackmailing, hidden influences. So all that this card represents if this card is reversed. So you will just negate the wealth, so which would indicate poverty. There is a balance of cosmic energies, and you will just find a psychological instability, and even the some kind of turmoils and quarrelsome environment at the home front. So this is all what this card indicates. Now when it comes to understanding the real life situation and sync of this card in the people's life, so you might relate this card to someone who's a very nurturing woman, a very careful, very loving relationship. You can even see this card as a manifestation of all kind of wealth, fertility, reproductive and very productive subconscious. So someone who is in the field of the art and creativity, this card would indicate good omen, some auspicious event happening in the life of the person. So in a nutshell, this card just embodiments and represents the energy of the planet Venus in all of its prosperous and very wealth giving aspect. So this is all what I wanted to say on my take and my view on this major arcana card. I hope you guys found this video informational. For further more updates and notification on tarot, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.
Shiva